And for the first show for Be Authentically You, hosted by yours truly, Tori Nicole. And it's also my birthday as well, so I'm very excited to be joining Women of Essence Network tonight on my first show ever. This is truly exciting, and I thank everyone for tuning in. And also, I want to thank Darlene and Emma for giving me this platform to be able to share my life as well as other women's lives while they're launching their life and out here being fabulous, wonderful women, and some men as well. So we don't want to not include our brothers as well. Let me tell you a little bit about myself in this Monday night show that will be aired every Monday from 7 to 7:30. I am a mom of three, a glam mom of one, a social worker in the DMV area, also a doctoral student, a three-time author, and a inspiration and motivational speaker, and also a life coach. So I felt as though I wanted to get into a ministry, but the Lord has taken me to another plateau and another platform to be able to have this show from 7 to 7:30 to be able to help other women and as well as some men to launch their life and to also be out here to help other people that want some form of inspiration and empowerment to be battle mental illness. This is one topic that we like to discuss with them. We also want to discuss it because not everyone likes to talk about suicide because it feels as though that when you say the word suicide that someone's going to do it. It's more getting a person to discuss their emotions and their feelings, also to explain to them and to let them know that you're listening and that you're encouraging them, also to be a listening ear for someone that might be going through something. Everyone that is your stronger friend might not be the strongest person that is in your circle, that they could be going through some things. I've also had experience with it a long time ago as a teen because of bullying, but I got through it because I had a support system that discussed different topics with me and also pray with me. We can pray about some things, but the Lord also create therapists and other people out there that are able to deal with these things, such as suicide and mental health and trauma and relationships. So I don't want my listeners to be afraid to discuss these topics because this is something that we definitely need to talk about in the communities that we serve and that we work with. So in the next couple of shows that I will have, I'm looking to discuss different topics with different therapists that will come on the show that would talk to you in reference to maybe child therapy, LGBT therapy. And I understand that we don't want to touch into um, taboo subjects, but they do need to be discussed. We do need to stop shying away from different topics. We need to stop shying away from one sin and thinking one sin is worse than the other, but all sins are the same. So I don't want to make it seem like we're just picking and choosing which ones we're going to discuss, but I think we should all want to discuss all things that need to be put on the table that we can help one another to do. So, as your host on Be Authentically You, being a doctoral student and basically having your plate full, we are going to definitely discuss different things as far as mommies going back to school, mommies sharing in the dream with their children, also mommies sharing in the dream of with their husbands or their mates that you can share in something together and not shy away from it. So we're going to delve into those topics for each week that we go into. But if you have topics that you would like to hear discussed or be a guest on the show, you can definitely email me at tnball76@gmail.com, or you can get in touch with me on Facebook at Tori Rogers Ball, or you can follow me on Instagram, Tori Inspires Blog. I'm also a blogger. This week I will be finishing my last week of the quarter for my second year, so I will be going back into the writing of talking about life in general. So, while we are going to discuss some statistics in the next half of the show, we will just go ahead and take a break right now, and then we'll come back around 7:15 to fully discuss whatever we need to delve into when it comes to the rates of suicide. I found the article today. So we're going to take this break. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the show. Uh, so while researching for the suicide rates, I found this article on NewYorkTimes.com in reference, and it was published today by Dr. Friedman, who's a psychiatrist. And the topic for it was that the suicide rate has increased. What he has written was that by 28% from 1999 to 2016, that the CDC has reported alone in 2016 that you've had numerous Americans that have committed suicide suicide. And this topic has come up so much in the past week because of two celebrities that did commit suicide that was very shocking, Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain. Uh, to also give perspective on it, we were also, a group of friends of mine were also discussing how the rate of our black teens and young males are committing suicide at a high rate. I want to implore family members and also parents that could be listening that mental illness is real and it should not be swept underneath the rug. Mental illness should be discussed, and we just cannot go by and just say that, oh, this person will be okay, they're a little sad, they'll sleep it off. No, we need to ask those tough decisions, those tough questions, whether or not family members need help, if the family needs to get together, do interventions, to take them somewhere to seek help in a form of therapy. um, I was Googling prior to the show and reading weeks in advance of a young lady's website that is called Therapy for Black Girls, where it's not only just developed by a licensed psychologist in Atlanta, Georgia, she also has a directory on her website where you can locate other therapists and discuss different subject matters if you don't feel comfortable. I implore people who are listening of many different races, nationalities, to seek a therapist that you feel comfortable with, not only just for our black girls, but for women in general, for men, for kids, to seek someone to discuss topics with or things that you could be going through that you cannot talk to your family members about because you feel that they might not understand. So I would implore people to start researching and Googling different topics that you want to discuss and you want to talk about or you want to know more of and don't feel um, stereotyped in reference to talking about mental illness. So, next couple of shows, I plan to have several therapists on the show that will discuss what they do, the population that they work with, and to just basically put services out there for my listeners to be able to grasp some idea of maybe a family member might need this service or either the family member just don't know where to go or if you don't know where to go to help your family member, this will be a good start on Be Authentically You. With our show, it's only a 30-minute show, so we're going to move very rapidly in the shows in the upcoming weeks, but I wanted to thank everyone that has listened thus far. This is the first show. This is also my birthday. So I am basically very excited. I'm hoping that I seem very excited, but I want to thank you so much for joining me on my first evening of the show. And we're going to have different formats where we're going to touch on different topics that might be very touchy, which are very needed. But we're also going to have some fun. I'm going to have in the upcoming weeks a sisterhood show where I'm discussing and talking with other women that are in my sisterhood circle in reference to what it means to have longevity in your friendships. Um, that also plays into therapy and why we need those sister circles to discuss things, your non formal therapy sessions per se when you have your sister friends with you, but also to seek licensed help when you are looking to get services in reference to depression and mental health. Mental health just does not leave a box around bipolar or depression, but it leaves a box around other mental illnesses that trouble our culture, our society, our community when we're discussing mass shootings, suicide. We're discussing people going away for college soon, and I implore our parents to discuss these things with them. Also, what plays in part of mental health. Mental health is also self medication. So, also with self medication, you want to talk to your family in reference to alcoholism and being careful not to take alcohol or any drugs that any person may give them while they're going away at school. So it also touches on the subject of suicide and being careful and who to talk to and where to go um, for these services when we're preparing our kids for the next level of life. That is okay to be sad and not getting that are needed, but you will be okay to get those things. The next five 5 minutes of the show, or the next 10 minutes, I have my motivational Monday segment where I'm going to give you your last 5 minutes of motivational cup of tea to start you off for the rest of your week from Tuesday through Friday. And the motivational Monday that I leave for you today is, regardless of how we feel about Mondays, it is another week for us to do it right for someone else on, or to get inspired to do the rest of the week for our purpose that we have and what we're struggling through. However, for your motivational Monday, you also can take this time to prepare Tuesday through Friday to do things that you want to do to launch your life, to be able to either write the book, start the business, redo your home, redecorate, go back to school, maybe research going back to school, or researching things that you want to do in school that is going to press upon you to serve a purpose for someone else other than yourself. It is okay sometimes to be self-serving, but it's better to serve other people because you get a reward serving others. The purpose of you launching your life is not always for you, but launching your life is always for the purpose for God to serve someone else. Your motivational Monday doesn't always have to be dreary like the rain we have in here in the DMV area, but it can serve a purpose to serve shine over you. So it is a great thing to start your Monday, to look and reflect on the past week, and to look on this week and know that you can do it another day, another week for someone else to be able to do something that you love to do. Maybe it's baking a cake, maybe it's knitting some clothes, sewing some clothes, but never get unstuck. You have to be able to move forward and get out of that rut that you're feeling on a Sunday and a Monday, but move towards Tuesday through Friday to be able to get to another day. May the Lord shine his light upon everyone that's listening to this show today. I thank everyone for listening to Be Authentically You. And this is our show for this evening. So I want to thank you. And I understand that it is 7:23, but I think having the first show on my birthday 5 minutes before 7:30 will be a great time for you to start your Monday night and flourish into Tuesday through Friday. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next Monday at 7 o'clock sharp. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good evening, and show up to do it for someone else tomorrow. Thank you.